Flash, bam, alakazam, out of an orange-colored sky. Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We are off to pick some oranges today with Barrister and Mann.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
And from Broadway's company, this is Elaine Stritch. And together we are the Barbershop Duet. Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about these shelves that we have to display our brushes and bowls. They've been a wonderful way to be able to see them on display when you're trying to figure out what you want to use for that day. So we figured we would share them with you.
And isn't that the mark of a great wet shaving hobbyist? You basically destroy your bathroom for the purposes of displaying your fabulous treasures. And what is our soap today?
We have Nordost, and we over the years have had lots of requests for this one. So after today, we can finally say, yes, we have Nordost. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at barristerandmann.com.
Try not thinking of peeling an orange. Try not imagining the juice running down your fingers, the soft inner part of the peel, the smell. Try and you can't. The brain doesn't process negatives. Douglas Copeland.
Of all the brilliant creations of Chinese antiquity, perhaps none is so humble or enchanting as the orange. Sweet and juicy, warm and inviting. The fruit has been cultivated around the world for centuries and was so prized by Louis XIV that he ordered the construction of an orangery at Versailles that remains one of the largest and grandest in the world, housing hundreds of plants since its completion in 1663. The French king was even known to have the trees potted in solid silver basins and placed throughout the staterooms of the palace in order to perfume the air. Unfortunately, transferring that wonderful scent to soap has proven to be difficult. Well, and if you run out of oranges, you can just eat cake.
Orange oil is famously frustrating to work with, highly unstable and prone to oxidation, and extremely weak unless you use the stuff by the bucketful, which can disturb the chemistry of the soap and presents skin allergen problems. We've searched for years for a safe way to produce an orange scent that properly reflects the rich warmth of the genuine article, and at long last, we finally found it. The product of this effort is our newest and grandest citrus creation, Nordost.
Rich and elegant with undertones of dusky sweetness, Nordost is the smell of smoked oranges, their peels made leathery by the heat, their juice darkened and concentrated and wonderful. This is no weak, muddled orange scent, handicapped by the fragility of the fruit's natural oil, but instead an intense, distinctly authentic fragrance so deeply luscious that you'll swear you've buried your face in a basket of the real thing. We consider Nordost to be one of our crowning achievements, a glorious, impassioned love letter to the warmth and friendliest citrus. Enjoy, and long live the orange. Is this our first soap where there's not a list of scent notes?
I got this from their page, and it's what it had.
Oranges and smoke. Well, perhaps that's all you need, but that's a lot of restraint from Mr. Carius not to explain any further, but maybe he didn't have to. There might be some serious mysteries and wonders to discover with this one, y'all, when we open the box. These are the new boxes from the new distributor from Barrister and Mann, and my left hand is out of commission. Oh, that's right, there's two. You did not see Leviathan. We might save that for this coming Halloween, but I don't think I have that much restraint. And then you did see Nordost, and look at that label, a little reminiscent of the old citrus packing crates in California.
Yeah, and then there's even a side one here. You get to see a little orange action.
Gotta love that. All right, y'all, will come along with us for this most iconic first impression. All right, take it in. Take off that cosmetic barrier so you know our noses are the first ones to invade this soap. I love that.
We've waited so long to smell this.
So many brothers and sisters have reached out and said, y'all have to cover Nordost. It's amazing. All right, take it in. See what you get.
Okay. Oh, that good Barrister and Mann pour there.
I'm going to keep my nose over here. All right.
Yeah, I'm guessing it might be potent. Here we go. I mean, it is smoked sweet orange, but it is gorgeous. It's not too smoky. It's not too sweet. It's not too orangey. Like, I don't know how they balanced all those specifically, but they just click together in the best way. Like, I almost don't even want to lather this. It smells so good right here on the tub that I'm just enjoying how it's just being itself. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, I don't even think I would have needed to read the label. Right. If I just took a whiff, I would have kind of known that this is definitely like an orange with some spice in here. So the smoky version that's coming through, it's not a K, it's not that type of smoke, but it's also not like an incense smoke either.
Gotcha.
It's just a gentle, like, charring, but barely, like, half the orange is still orange. The other half has a little bit of the charness on it, so it doesn't take over the whole scent. It just adds a little charm, little character to it.
And isn't this interesting? At the very beginning of our show, we were a little bit worried about getting COVID and not being able to smell things for a while. We'd have to put it on hold. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, if you're having trouble getting your sense of smell back, burn, char, an orange peel and breathe it in as deeply as you can. And they had a lot of success in that, helping them get their sense of smell back. So my point is, there might be something mystical, a connection between smoked orange peel and the human sense of smell. Are you getting something kind of mystical in that?
A little, but it's almost like heartwarming. It's cozy somehow. Like, I feel like I would use this almost all year, not just kind of, I know it comes out the winter time, but there's something in this, the charm of it, that I think I'd reach for this way more than just for this season.
Is it Christmassy?
If I want it to be, it is. But if I just go, like, we're smelling this in January, and if I just go in smelling it to enjoy the scent, I think I would use this way more months out of the year than I first had expected.
Nice.
Now that I dive in further, I get all the parts of the orange. Like, I have one sitting on the counter that's normal. I have one that's been charred, and then I have one that's been sliced open. Like, when you first cut into an orange, the zest and the peel kind of has that little, like, poof kind of thing that you can see.
Right.
That's in the air, like its own effervescence or its own little kind of zesty, the rind, but like the ripest version you could possibly have.
Right.
So recently I bought a bag of oranges from Target and I was all ready to use them, and I cut through it and they did not taste that sweet. So I used them in a pot for something else. Then I went to my grandma's house and she pulled some off of her tree and they were mouth-wateringly sweet. I was going to have one. I ended up eating like 3. So there's something about this that has the sweet charm of the orange, not candied, but it's in its natural sweetness that is coming through here, that I feel like it's almost that inner kid side of you that craves orange juice or Sunny Delight or something, like the natural sweetness that's coming through. It's in its best charm, most quality version here.
There should be a flanker called the purple stuff, right? And I totally know what you're talking about, because on my grandfather's farm, which was enormous, there was only one orange tree and it was right next to the ranch house. Y'all, sweet Valencia oranges. And it seems like it produced fruit all year long. I'm not sure how California does that or how those trees do that. But y'all, she's right. And it's so sweet. It's not candied. It's like a deep dive into that natural sense of the orange. That's what makes it sweet. And maybe it's not even sweet. Maybe it's the absence of sour. Maybe it's the absence of tartness inside of it when it is perfectly ripe. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. So, okay, we just opened Asian pear, and we kept talking about that pear is like one that's the finest one in the museum. It has gold lighting around it. That's what I'm getting from here. This has more of the sweet charm. Like, it's not too dressed up. That's more the dressed up fancy pear.
Right.
But this is like the best quality. Like, if you were saying, if California had to put out, okay, this is finally the best version of an orange that all people will enjoy, I feel like that's the version that's in here.
Nice. So if you traveled to an alien planet and you said, this is what our orange trees smell like, that's pretty much AB.
I'd be proud. This would be the one to show them.
Love it.
I'm not really sure how smoked oranges are actually made. Like, if you put them in an actual smoker or if you put them on a grill and like this, I don't know. But whatever's happening in here, that smokiness is a whole different type of a smoky thing. Like, it's new to me here, and I'm loving getting to know it. I can totally see why a lot of the brethren were like, you have to get Nordost, because they didn't even have words to explain it. I'm understanding that challenge now, getting my nose here. Like, smoked almost doesn't seem like the right word, but I know that's how the process somehow is made. It has a little bit of that charness to it. It's not burnt, but it's almost just what happens to the peel itself, not the inside of the orange, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm getting all the layers, the skin, the outside, the inside, and I didn't know that I needed this magnifying glass on oranges, but I'm so glad that they could help us out with that.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know where I go for like the most realistic orange in our collection? Old Salty. Which is kind of based on a Swedish bath soap, and maybe they did use actual orange oil in that. I'm not sure. But that's not meant to be like a real orange. I think they're right. Orange is really hard to do, or we'd have more in our 700 collection. We have bergamot all over the place, but I think a true orange is kind of tricky to do. I think rhymes with orange. The Fanta inspired one from Night Watch is kind of our exact closest to a real orange so far. Now, how is this different from like an orange lotion that you might get at Target?
It has something turned up about it. Somehow it's real. Like the body lotion version at Target, I think it's just kind of like I don't want to say a fake version, but it's not at the quality this is.
Gotcha.
It does. You kind of can see it's a citrusy something. This is like specifically the sweet orange. Like even if you put this next to Old Salty, I think Old Salty would almost be approaching more of like a lemony bright side. There's something more charming about this one.
Well, let me experience this charm for myself.
I'll take over the dog.
Yes, please. Okay. All right, here we go. The shaking clam. Will? Okay. Oh. Oh, that is wild. Okay, I'm going to say it. About 60-70% of the orange in this is the orange I'm finding in Rhymes with Orange from Night Watch. That is an absolutely A-B copy of Fanta. And so when you are smelling Fanta and you're getting that real orangeness to it, even though it's not done with actual orange essential oil, that's where this is starting. And I love that because what both of these soaps are attempting to do is not create a clip art version or an impressionist painting of the orange. They are both attempting to create a realist painting, something indistinguishable from a photograph. Even if they're not going to get every single detail of that orange, they want to present it as something real to your nose. That's what this is doing. Now, the smoked part is way more subtle than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like an orange leathery sense or like
me too.
a charcoaly charred kind of sense in here. Or like you said, like a cade or something where I could distinguish it from the orange, like its own smoky note. But it's not. It's almost like something about the orange itself has a smoky edge to it without it being a smoked note. Wild. Okay, hold on. And you know what's brilliant? Where the Fanta version of orange, while it's so realistic to my nose, doesn't go so deep as a real orange is in the tartness. And this has that tang, that zest, that tartness, not in intensity, but in type. In color. So that when I think of an orange slice that's been given to me, and there's that little cloudy membrane on the orange itself, that when you bite through it, the juice just jumps up and hits you in the eye. That's what the tartness makes me think of from this, the literal pulp inside the orange juice. Wow. And you know what? The better angels on my shoulder just told me a great way to let you in on what this smells like. So, we've all been to a diner for breakfast and we've all ordered a small glass of orange juice, and obviously it's from concentrate, and obviously it's a little, if you drink it, especially right after your pancakes. But when you go to the store and you buy that Florida premium Tropicana orange juice that's not from concentrate, or you go to the Grapevine and you get it freshly squeezed for $900 an ounce, that is the difference between what I would normally sense in an orange flavored something, even a shave soap, and this. This has that fresh squeezed, not from concentrate, stayed refrigerated all the way from the Sunshine State. Hey, Jerry Plessy, that's what this has got going on. Super natural, but it's not supernatural.
But like if you had real in all caps, there's something about that to me.
Right. And then something in the smoked edge gives it permission to stray from the path just a little bit. Just in that natural photograph of the orange to turn up the intensity of the color a tiny bit beyond what it would be naturally. That's all they've done. But the rest of it, beautiful.
Yeah, just the vibrancy is turned up in all the right ways that you can see every piece of that orange.
And for me, as I started to discover citruses when we were building our perfumer's organ for our first couple of scents, I realized that you can come straight at the citrus with those essential oils, or you can use aldehydes, you can use other things to construct the outside of the citrus, if that makes sense. But if the outside of the citrus uses 7 or 8 building blocks, you have to find all 7 or 8 of those building blocks to build that citrus inverted. And that, y'all, that's what I'm sensing in here. Like, I've smelled a lot of these parts, but I would have no idea how to put this together.
Right.
Like this. It's a realist painting.
It's not just like a 2D puzzle. Somehow it's
No,
3D where
right.
those all come together.
This is the opposite of buying something AI created
Yes.
online. You're going to see a flat version of it. When you get it, it's going to be three-dimensional. And this is so weird, but like it's got all of the natural qualities of a real orange from my grandfather's tree. And it's also got that special zing of orange from my Flintstone vitamins. How you doing that?
There's something in it for your little kid if you
Right.
want to go in with that lens,
That's what
or
I mean.
the like super adult version of you too that you still want to be able to have that charm. Like I don't know how they encompass that all in one scent,
Right.
but I love that they literally list smoked sweet orange, and that's all it needs to be. But somehow it has a lot of layers within just that lineup.
Well, in how real it is. Because when you look at a super realistic painting, your eye can't distinguish it from a photograph until it really zooms in on the tiniest details, but that's fun for your eye to do, to figure out how it's being fooled. My nose is kind of having the same experience with this, because I kind of expect when I open this for like oranges and
Yes.
flowers and neroli to pop out.
I think my brain was trying to figure out how the smoked orange thing was going to come across. Almost like a smoked orange, like a potpourri. Like I could just kind of see all the little peels
Right.
kind of charred. And that's not what it's like in the process of being smoked. It hasn't, not past tense. Like somehow it's smoking. It's not smoked. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
there's something real
right.
about that transition of the skin peel itself.
It hasn't really changed the nature of the orange.
Right.
It's just added the smokiness to it subtly. Yeah, I really was expecting way more smoke in here. But I love that it's just a little bit of a darker canvas for the orange to sit on.
Yeah.
And I have recently proclaimed Barrister and Mann to be my favorite base in the wet shaving world. The Ultima 2 has broken from the pack, and it's doing an amazing job of catching up. But for right now, this is my pony. Y'all come along with us. We're going to take another look at this scent note and build you a lather. So this is your orange asteroid Ollie-Works brush, and this is the Crater bowl, and we love that they come in this fabulous orange colorway.
I'm sensing a wonderful matchy save of the day with these, this label, and my Orange Ollie-Works razor.
Right.
Ooh-wee.
Now, for those of you who have the Crater, at first we thought it was doing a kind of crappy job of creating the lather, but what it was doing was biding its time, because once the lather is ready, boom, this bowl just exploded.
I do like the size of this smaller bowl. At first, I wasn't expecting it to be so small, but it fits in my hands perfectly.
A little rain on the orange orchard.
Yeah, we've been having rain nonstop this last week. It
man.
probably is good for
I
everything.
know. The news story this week was, guess what? It's going to be dry. That's the news.
All right. Oh, it is smelling wonderful. It got a little zestier with that water. Okay.
Nice.
Taking my dry brush over onto the soap, going one direction, and then going the other direction.
And look at that. Most of the soap's already gone from the side of that aluminum bowl. Where did it go? Give it a couple minutes. It's going to come back like Santa.
All right, I've turned my brush. I think I've gotten all the soap on the bristles I can. So I'm going to start adding a little water into this. Hopefully y'all can see and I won't spill on the dog.
We kind of have a theory that the spiral pattern on this bowl either draws the lather down off the brush if you're going righty-tighty, or it pulls the lather up onto the brush if you're going lefty-loosey. And you know what? It's really, really strong, but it's really gentle. Think Andre the Giant in Princess Bride.
Like it's potent, but it's not in your face.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Look at that. Casualty. You know what's cool, too? Sometimes I realize my nose doesn't want to have to do a lot of work. Sometimes it really wants to dive down into a set, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just wants to know I've got orange, and I don't have to think about it any deeper. Those are the shapes this is for.
It is true. Sometimes I want to escape and spend a lot of time trying to decipher new little layers and scents. Other time, I just want the scent to be what it is and let me enjoy letting that wash over me on its own. One direction, it kind of disappears
Right.
from the bowl.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and then I go the other direction.
Righty-tighty.
And it's
the
all...
lather man cometh. I'm telling you, I think it's built-in technology.
But if you look really closely at the design, they are kind of all swirling one way, except at the very bottom, it's going in reverse.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
Wait a minute. What's that purple thing?
I was looking at that earlier myself,
Well,
too.
what's that?
Is there
that
some
another
kind of a
scent
berry?
note? Okay, wait a minute, because it's not orange and it's not smoke. What is that? And is it in the smell?
Are there specific oranges that are sweet oranges? Like, do their orange blossoms look any different?
No.
Marcus says
I don't
no.
know what that is.
I think I figured it out. You got to spend time lathering, my friend. So if you really push down and kind of splay the brush, that is
Lather
what
goes.
takes it away.
Gone.
If you just let the weight of this handle, because it is kind of heavy, kind of just ride the actual bowl itself, that's where all the lather paints back on.
And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Orange You Glad I Didn't Say Banana with on 3, 1, 2. That is beautiful. That is 90% real, and there's a 10% whimsy layer for me that I adore.
Now try that one.
Oh!
Yeah.
Interesting. I can almost name it. There's something else going on in the smoke. Is it a tiny hint of like cocoa nib? There's something else in the smoke. It's super subtle, like subtlest scent I've ever smelled on this whole journey. But there's something else in that smoke.
See, that to me, the middle side of the scent woke up. Like, it's a little less sweet, it's a little less smoky. The zesty, undeniable orange part is what woke up for me. Like, the mid notes, it rounded out the smokiness and it rounded out the sweet side somehow.
And you know what this really captures for me? On my grandfather's tree, we would kind of smell the oranges to see which one was the ripest. Mm-hmm. The ones that were so laden down with juice, they were about to drop themselves onto the ground. That's what this smells like. So even the oranges that were a couple of days out from that moment didn't smell like this. Mm-hmm. This is the smell of almost an overripe California orange.
Like the natural sugars inside of it, that's what's adding the sweetness to it.
And while we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, and we sure wish there'd be more videos from the Shave Arcade so we could watch even more, we want you to see what it looks like when this lather coats and covers a drop. Look, y'all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Seriously, look at this. Hold on, you gotta try.
I want to try,
Put some on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. This definitely will probably be what I'm shaving with tonight.
I went with B&M last night. You know, my favorite base in the wet shaving world, this is.
There's something about this that really wakes you up. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the natural vibrancy of the orange, if I need to reset, there's just something calming about like citrus side coming through. And I feel like this could really be the one to reach for. So since we don't have much scent notes to go over here, my brain keeps wanting the smokiness to almost be a cinnamon, but it's not. So sometimes when I eat them at night, that's what I do. I put cinnamon on the orange and I take a lovely little bite. But it's not cinnamon, it's smoke, but it's somehow my brain is putting it in a similar category.
I think it's cinnamic. It's cinnamic. How do you pronounce that new word we learned last week? That. You know, I was saying there was something in the smokiness that was a little bit more woody, a little bit more something.
Yeah.
That. But again, just don't buy this because you're a cinnamon fan by any stretch of the imagination. But I think you're right. I think that's how it's being used.
But I think that's how it's not just a fall winter scent for me. Like I could reach for this more year round. Somehow it's a little cooler outside. It could be early morning or late evening. But I think I'll reach for this way more. Like the more time we spend with this, it is not just a winter scent for me, y'all.
All right, y'all. Let's see how far the orange falls from the tree. Come along with us. We're going to go a little bit deeper. You know why I love that this is a Christmas scent from Barrister and Mann? For most of the history of this country, it was notoriously hard to get citrus in the winter. But California and Florida would generally work overtime to make sure that anybody who wanted one could save up a little bit and get a beautiful orange or grapefruit or something like that in their Christmas stocking in December. So I love that when you open this up, you do get that sense of beautiful California sunshine, no matter where you are in the United States. It's just a little reminder that summer is coming and these dog days of winter won't last forever.
I really assumed at the beginning it was kind of going to smell like when you slice up the oranges and put them in the dehydrator and you use them for like holiday decorations or little things, but it doesn't. There's something about the smoke side that is a very different process and it turns up the vibrancy of the actual orange, where that dehydrated version kind of tames it down. It's almost like a jellied or candied orange. This is completely different.
Well, and I don't think they've actually smoked the orange. That's a great distinction because what this smells like is opening my Christmas stocking, smelling that Valencia orange from the tree I can still see outside and being like, wow, y'all really splurged on this. But the smoke that I got was from the potbelly stove across the room. So it wasn't that the orange itself had been smoked. I was just sensing it along with a little bit of that smoke from the country ranch house. And that's why this is awesome for me. And from a perfumer's standpoint, it's really brave of Will to make an orange soap in the first place. Because remember, Melody was telling us that the essential oil that she had ate through her coffee table? Now, interesting, in a boardroom full of Aventus, How would this go over on a dude?
I think it's bright enough that it just kind of lifts your spirits, but the smokiness adds a slight masculine thing in here that would completely work. No one would walk by you and be like, are you wearing Fanta? Like, they're not going to go in that round. There's something like the finest tier of it that I don't know if they would get what citrus it is necessarily mixing with your own chemistry, but there is a little dapperness coming through.
I know I'm a 10-year-old in a 50-year-old body. Everybody knows this. But if I were to smell this on somebody at work, I would instantly be transported back to those Sunny Delight commercials and be like, hey, let's go out and play, and then let's go invade your mom's fridge and see what she's got to drink. Only a fun guy would wear this, and I think only a fun guy would come up with it, so that's why I choose Will as my dungeon master.
But it does make you just smile immediately. I don't know why exactly. I don't think it's necessarily the Fanta thing, but there is just something about that kind of charm and brightness that's coming through.
Well, you've all smelled fresh cut oranges in the morning. You know why it makes you smile.
Well, you are the fan of orange chicken, too. Like, in all forms. Like, it is surprising how that is one of the citruses. No grapefruit, but he is a fan of the oranges.
Could we get a chicken soap to go with this? That'd be perfect. The splash can be garlic rice. It'll sell out in a day.
Well, teriyaki, great.
Promise. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus at Christmas, having eaten 700 or 800 of those Valencia oranges off your grandfather's tree. And when it's time to wake up and see what Santa brought you in your stocking, you are going to get your own. So head over to barristerandmann.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Nordost, and if you also took 3 practice exams for the SAT, let's see if I can frame this for you. Tunes and Spoons did for Saturday morning what this does for rhymes with orange. A phenomenal sense of digging my nose into an actual crate of California Valencia oranges. This is what Disneyland smelled like before Walt came along. Amazing, y'all. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In my favorite base in the wet shaving world, Will, you are doing something very right at Barrister and Mann, and we're so excited that Rod and Mandy are now on board as well. Stay tuned, y'all, for some Leviathan. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our January giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Sterling Soap Company.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first February episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
So, y'all, we saw that recently half of the creative force behind Barrister and Mann was retiring. Paula, who is Will's mom, we just wanted to thank you for all of your amazing creations that you have had a hand in. Noggin on Heaven's Door, I'm looking at that one specifically, and we know you'll never leave Barrister and Mann completely, but we wish you all of the best in your retirement and all of the adventures yet to come.
We were so lucky every time we'd get a package and it had a little signature from Paula in there. It was just so sweet, like a little momness coming through and
With
doing
the
our
little
interviews.
lips on the Maryland package, that's pure Paula.
Yeah, and the fact that she came on our interview with us, we are just so touched we kind of got to meet you and at least have you around with our journey.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry I made that joke about upstate New York.
So, Paula, please keep us updated on your retirement adventures, and don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.